What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. This is going to be an addendum or part two, so to speak, of the video I uploaded yesterday talking about a lot of the personal issues and battles that I've faced over the years. And many of you have responded in kind, and I appreciate that. I want to say thank you to my friends, my family, my neighbors, eBay customers, YouTube viewers and subscribers, one and all. You know, I know many of you can relate to these things. And, you know, throughout the course of my channel, I've kind of got into this stuff, but I've really never just said what I think, you know. And a lot of the stuff I put out there previously just sounds like a bunch of mindless rhetoric without any thought or compassion behind it. So I just wanted to lay the foundation for all of this stuff to let you know what's truly going on up here and in here. You know, over the years, I've had a lot of bad things happen to me. And a lot of it was not by my choice. You know, I've had, you know, because of my presence on YouTube, not with this channel, but, you know, previous political channels I had, because, you know, I talked a lot about conservatism and family and my former home in New York, and people took it upon themselves to call the FBI on me, making false claims I was trying to target President Biden and Kamala Harris, which turned out to be false. I had people out there claiming I was shooting firearms through my walls, which never happened. That I was outside trying to target black people, which never happened. I've been accused of everything under the sun, from stalking to, you know, all this stuff, and none of it is true. And every single time that something like this comes up, I've had to defend myself. And I've done so far, thank God, by the grace of God, successfully. You know, I have a lot of people out there that hate my guts, that just don't like me because, you know, and this is not me patting myself on the back or tooting my own horn. You know, I like to get along with people. I like talking with people. I see the universe in people's eyes. I love good company. I love laughing. I love having good food and drink. Last year, here in my home, last year epitomized everything that I've worked hard all my life for. You know, I've told you, for the most part, if you've been here since the inception of this channel, you know, the activities that I engaged in at that World Trade Center site. And of course, people have falsely accused me of being a fraud. I was never there. I was 20 miles away, this, that, and everything else. People actually called my union hall about me, claiming I was a fraud and a fake. And of course, it was all untrue, like always. You know, you get sick and tired of having to constantly prove yourself and prove that what you're saying is genuine and true. And I get sick and tired of this. It's whack-a-mole. You know, and it wears you down to have to constantly defend your name and defend yourself. Especially, you know, when you're here on social media, you become an instant target, and the bigger you get, the bigger the target gets. You know, and people actually called the union hall, and I'll never forget the phone call I got from my home union saying, hey, you know, this person or these people called asking about you. I mean, obviously we didn't tell them anything, but, you know, they were asking questions about you and what have you. And it's like, people are insane. I could tell you this shirt is black all day long, and there will be people out there claiming that I said this shirt is white. Doesn't matter. If you actually come and you see this video and you see me literally grabbing this shirt and saying that it's black, people will insist that I said the shirt is white. Because they either hate me or have a grudge against me, or they're jealous, or whatever the modus operandi is. It's awful to have to constantly defend yourself. You know, I was in the newspapers in New York talking about 9/11 and Osama bin Laden after they caught him. I got interviewed several times by several news outlets talking about that. I was also at Occupy Wall Street. That turned me into a target as well. I had people vandalize. Actually, it was one individual that vandalized my previous vehicle, cut up my car tires, cut up my spare tire cover on my old car because of my Trump stickers on my car. I was on the news twice because of that. I got falsely accused of being a stalker. And then meanwhile, like I tried to sound the clarion horn about certain things that were going on. And sure enough, the apartment where I used to live directly above me, I think it was 4 or 5 masked gunmen kicked in the door and committed a home invasion. And I was like Bruce Willis. Have you ever seen Die Hard 2, where he's holding the torches out in the middle of the snowstorm at the airport and he's trying to flag down the airplanes and try to get them to land safely? That's what it was like with me. I'm like screaming into a canyon, like these things are going to happen. I see it coming. And nobody listened. I was accused of being a racist and a stalker and this and that and everything else. And like, you can't be the good guy. You're not allowed to be the good guy. I'm not going to talk about certain things that have happened recently. The only thing I can really say, it's like, I miss the feeling, thank God at least I've got the friends and the neighbors that I have now. But, I could be sitting here on my chair, staring out my window here, and somebody will misinterpret that and make something up and accuse me of something else. This has gone on for years where, like, you really cannot be truthful. You can't be genuine. You can't be honest. It's like with my ex-girlfriend. Many of you have, probably seen that content that I used to have here on the channel, what she did to me. She falsely accused me of all sorts of crazy stuff that never happened. And this is when my father died. And look what I had to go through with that. Because someone wanted something from me or didn't get what they want. And as a result, they committed vengeance against me. That's what it is. That's what it was. And it's traumatized me. I've now got 3 separate medications that I have for depression as a result because of it. And it's very hard for me to talk to people now without getting emotional. It's already bad enough I suffer with 9/11 related post-traumatic stress because of the things that I saw. And those images will never leave me. They're with me for the rest of my life, the things that I saw down here. When I get into that political rhetoric, which is why I took it all down in the first place, all this stuff, it doesn't matter if you're black or white. It doesn't matter if you're tall or short. It doesn't matter if you're gay or straight. We have this much life to live. Our time on this planet is finite. I should know that because of him not being here anymore. He doesn't walk among us anymore. Life is finite, and we're all wasting our time trying to grandstand against one another. Who's the bigger victim? Who's suffered more? Who was a slave 200 years ago? Who's a Nazi? Who's not a Nazi? If somebody waves high like this, that doesn't mean that they're a Nazi. They're just waving high, but people want to see what they want to see, and they hear what they want to hear. And this is the world we live in. It's like everybody is pitting themselves against one another, and I hate it. I was a victim of an assault right here. I was sucker punched for no reason at the Walmart that I go to. Today they're staging this huge protest here in Charlotte to lock down everything that, as far as businesses are concerned, that have immigrants working for them. So a lot of businesses are staging walkouts and closures. I saw the signs over here by the strip mall last night when I was taking a walk. If you saw my YouTube short from last night when I came back and I got those sugar-free Gatorades from my Walmart, they had signs plastered all over the place. And I've taken a position where it's like, I come from immigrant roots many generations ago. I feel sorry for a lot of people because a lot of the countries that these folks are coming from have drug cartels, gang violence, rape gangs, and everything else. That's a fact. There are bad people and bad actors in these groups. Yes, there are. That's a fact. But if you're, excuse me, if you're already in process trying to become one of us, and these ICE officers are going around wrangling people up like animals, and you're already in the process trying to become one of us, and you have the papers, where's the logic in sending people away? It doesn't make sense to me. It's disgusting that these people are really trying their best to become a U.S. citizen. Let these people finish the process. And American citizens have been targeted. There was a case right here in Charlotte, in South Boulevard, where a man was targeted twice in one day. I think he was either from El Salvador or Honduras, who he was able to prove that he was a citizen, but yet ICE targeted him anyway, indiscriminately. Pardon me. I thought we were going after the bad guy. That's why I ripped up that MAGA hat in my recent video, because it doesn't make sense, and I'm probably going to peel all my Trump stickers off my car because that's not what I voted for. But only because I voted for Trump. Instantly you're labeled a racist and a homophobe and a xenophobe and this and that. It's the ideas that are being promoted that I don't like. I have all sorts of wonderful, beautiful people I live around. Black, white, elderly, young. And I try to get along with everybody, man. And I get tired of being falsely accused of things and I'm not. My grandfather, my father's father, actually, I got the photo right there. My father's father. We come from German roots. My grandfather fought against the Nazis in World War II. And when you have people that call you a Nazi when your own family was fighting against the Nazis, how do you think that makes me feel? Certain people can throw around the N-word all day they want, but it's okay to throw around the other N-word towards people like me. My problem is that I care too much. Especially living in this environment. Like this morning I woke up and I'm looking out my window right now. If you can't tell, my TV is pulled away from the wall because I'm expecting Spectrum to fix the cable here. You know, imagine what it's like, you know, when people are accusing you of something that you're not, that you're a Nazi, you're a homophobe, you're a racist, you're a bigot, you're this, you're that. I could be sitting here doing nothing and still be accused of something I didn't do. Or made into a bad guy. Or being a scapegoat for something. You know, when people accuse me of being a 9/11 fraud, you have no idea the implications of what that is. You don't know what I had to go through for years and years and years to get vetted by the Department of Justice, to prove beyond reasonable doubt and without prejudice that I was, in fact, on that site. But there's still people that will insist on it because that's what people do. And then you have the evil side of it where people are like, oh, well, because you were down there, you were part of this conspiracy and government this. And I'm like, God, just can't you just accept what's in front of your face? And these days, it's very hard for me to trust anyone anymore. I feel like I have this massive target on my back for everybody to come after. I've been doxxed. I've had death threats sent to me. Again, federal agents were called up on me for no reason. Look at what my ex-girlfriend did to me that I talked about here on the channel. And it's all traumatized me. All of this. I feel like I have a gigantic bullseye on my back for people to come after. You know, I've earned my right to sit on my cloud. I worked hard. As much as my father, I didn't want to follow in my father's footsteps getting into union construction, but that's what meant everything to him, was to at least get me in there. I can't speak about my brother and my sister, but he wanted me to do it. I wanted to be a comic book artist or a musician or something like that, or a police officer, but I ended up following in his footsteps. Made him happy, made him proud. And put in a 13-year career. I'm OSHA 30 certified on my own accord, doing all this eBay stuff that I do here to further my education and all that sort of thing. But yet people will still come after you. Or you'll be the victim of circumstance. Where you could be sitting there having a good time, and just because you're in the area, one person can fuck it up for everybody. One bad apple spoils the bunch. And I can't stand being lumped in or being put on the same plane as other people. And that's not fair to me. When I went through this channel and I started going through all my old videos and removing a bunch of old videos, I started getting into, the era when I was doing box breaks and pack rips and, even this year doing toy reviews and jersey reviews and Transformers and sneaker reviews. I'm happy doing that. Life can be that innocent. Excuse me, but it's come at the cost of me separating myself in so many ways from the outside world because I can't trust people. People are too violent. They're too angry. They're too political. You genuinely have racists that are out there. There are anti-black and anti-white racists out there. I'm not one of them. No matter what people think and what they try to pin on me, I am not one of them. I just saw the message come across right here while I'm making the Spectrum's on their way. And like I said, I got my TV pulled out right here for them to access the modem. Oh, the router, I should say. Excuse me. But because of people's cruelty, you're not allowed to be, I'm not going to say I'm successful, but everything that I fought for and everything that I sacrificed and with everything that I lost over the past 10 years and what I've had to build back from the bottom up, there are people that want to take that away from me out there or punish me or teach me a lesson or something like that because of the person. It's either because of the person that I am. I try to treat everybody decent. Everyone here who knows me knows I treat everybody the same. I wave to them. I tell jokes. If I got food, I share it. If I got beer, I give it away without asking for anything in return. If people need help, I'm the first one to run out and lend a hand. If I see garbage outside, I pick it up. That's who I am. I'm not going to change for anybody. But all this other stuff that seems to orbit around me has made my world collapse in on itself. Because I can't trust anybody. And it shows. A lot of the weight loss that I've experienced is not just because I take care of my health, which I really do take care of my health. I think I've shown on the channel here all the supplements and things I take, even the sugar-free drinks I drink and everything. I'm almost 50 years old. I'm too old for this stuff. I'm past my infancy. I'm past my infantilism. I'm past all of that. I just want to live my life the way I want to live it. I want to live my life in peace. I want serenity. I want quiet. I want to enjoy the company of the people around me. That there are people out there that are so angry at their own situations that, yes, they do. It's like what happened over at Walmart when I got sucker punched. And thank God for the people over there. I know the managers there, the assistant managers, a lot of the cashiers. They're very good to me. Sometimes they'll give me a hug or a pat on the back or a peck on the cheek or whatever have you. And I love that sort of thing. They asked me to do my Freddy Krueger in there twice for Halloween. I'm honored by that. Because they're so nice to me, it makes me want to be better. But when you're surrounded by a world and people that are just so negative and really genuinely don't care about anything, it's like you have this person, and this person, and there I am. And I get lumped in. And it's not fair to me. I feel very alone. I feel isolated. I feel depressed. I feel worn down. I'm tired of judges, lawyers, doctors, specialists. I'm tired of court hearings. I'm tired of false accusations. I'm tired of being made into a boogeyman. I'm tired of being accused of things that aren't true about me because people don't take the time to sit down and get to know who I am. You know, and I said this in my last video. At heart, I'm just a big, oversized kid. I'm a dork and a nerd deep down. That's who I am. A fountain of worthless information that I can't use anymore because I've been condemned to a life of solitude as a result of what I did at that World Trade Center site. That's why I started my baseball card business. And when he was alive, he was so proud that I did that because he didn't want me to end up like the way he did. When I was a kid, this man was cleaning bars, cleaning toilets, doing odd jobs, whatever it took to put food on the table when things got bad in New York at that time. And when I told him, yeah, I paid for the licensing to actually make this legitimate, he didn't think, at first he thought I was full of it, but you know, I think I sent him copies. I'm sure I did. I usually send him copies of things that I've accomplished, you know, and made him happy. Like, this is me. Right here. This is me. But you got people out there that just want to tear you to pieces. They want to watch you fail. They want to see you fail. They want to see you hurt. They want to see you struggling. They want to see you stressed. I see a lot of YouTube content creators that pit people against each other and fight and argue and cause people to have emotional breakdowns and stuff like that. And I can't stand that sort of stuff. And even today, hopefully when Spectrum comes, you know, and fixes this issue with my Wi-Fi, I got some orders I need to process and get to the post office, and I kind of feel like I just want to be by myself. It's such a stark contrast to how I was last year. I had people coming up here 3 to 4 times a week sometimes, coming in and out of my home, going in and out of each other's homes, having a good time. And the whole catalyst for everything that's happened this year is because of what that woman did to me. And what I had to go through, and the trauma and the nightmares I still have of being accused of literally doing nothing. And everything else that's happened since. I feel isolated. I feel lost. I feel like a worn down pencil point on an old school pencil, and that point has been so worn down, the only thing that's left is wood. It's the pencil in and of itself. There's no more lead at the tip of that pencil. Now, I hate feeling like this, but that's how I feel. And I fear it's not over yet. I feel like I'm just a bullseye for people to target. And even when you do the right stuff and you do the right thing, you know, you sit here, like in my home, if I sit here innocently, you know, where are they? I just pulled out some new stuff that I want to list over at my eBay store. I mean, I still got plenty of cards yet, but, you know, I got all these relics and stuff that I want to list over at my eBay store to put a little extra cash in my pocket for the holidays. And I could be sitting here doing that, and I'm still doing something wrong to somebody. Or I'm doing something wrong. And I get tired of that. The default judgments. I'm sick of it. I want things to go back. I can't obviously resurrect my father. He's gone now. My niece, who's having health issues, I'm helpless to do anything. and everything else, I'm like I almost don't even feel like a human being anymore. A lot of times, I'm being honest with you, like I don't feel like a human being. And it's awful to feel that way. When nobody wants to listen to you, no one wants to take the time to know who you are. They just instantly judge you. They'll look you from head to toe, and you are what they say you are. And that's not fair, and it's not right. I always thought the old saying went that actions have more meaning than words. And, throughout my entire life, I volunteered at churches, in parishes, giving out food and clothes. Recently, I gave a pair of Michael Jordans that I restored to a homeless guy. It's just there were certain things in that video I don't know. I risked my life at that World Trade Center site. I got sick because of that. I deal with the emotional issues as a result. That doesn't make me crazy. It makes me appreciate life that much more. And it makes me appreciate when people are hurting, when people are in pain, when no one else will listen to you. I had my friend Wolf in here. He almost killed himself. And him and I became very close because I know what that feeling feels like. I've been down that road when nobody wants to listen and nobody wants to give you a chance. Nobody wants to forgive you, even if you did nothing wrong. People still want to cast judgment on you and disparage you. And it hurts. Pardon me. If you can't tell, I'm already starting to get choked up here. Now, I'm sure a lot of you, pardon me, I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this. It's not fair, folks. It's really not. Take the time to get to know someone. One of my neighbor who I helped out recently, she said it the best. Even with what happened with my ex, and all of that paperwork is sound. Mr. Walter, and I showed her all of my stuff. It's all in black and white. It's my nerves, forgive me. It's what's in black and white. It's right there in black and white. All the accomplishments that I've achieved in my life and the thank yous that I've got from people. And for a guy like me that's so built on pride, seeing somebody who was once in trouble to have a giant smile on their face to say, hey man, you helped me with this thing, you fixed this thing for me, and having everybody happy and having a smile on it, that's what I live for. I live to see people happy. I want people to be happy. I want to be happy. But this world, especially this year for me, it's just been an endless gauntlet of just being beat up again and again and again and again and again. When do I get a break? When do I get a break? And I fear it's not over. When do I get a break? When do I get treated like a human being again? I miss people coming in and out of my door. I miss people up on my patio. I got all them chairs out there for a reason. I got them bar stools for a reason. I'm used to being around people. I'm used to being happy. I'm used to cooking. Last year, you couldn't catch me not cooking for people here. I'd make steaks and buy takeout. I never asked anybody for a dime. And this year it's the complete opposite. And it breaks my heart. I didn't ask for all of the shit that's been surrounding me. It's not fair to me at all. I want to be able to sit outside and wave to people and laugh and joke and have conversations and be me. Every day that goes by, and I can see spectrum coming right now. That's definitely for me. I just want to be happy again. I don't want to feel like this. I felt like this for a very long time. But this year, it's just been amplified. It's one thing after another, after another, after another, after another, after another. I've had enough. I've really had enough. I've had enough of feeling like I'm a target. I hate feeling, I'm tired of being people's scapegoat. I'm tired of being the blame for things that are not my fault. I'm tired of being accused of things that I'm not. I just want people to see me. But unfortunately, this world is programmed. And human society is programmed to just cast judgment on each other. And for me, it's not fair when people don't see me. Take care, everybody.